If you want to grow your company or move your company to someplace in the United States of America, think about the center. Think about the middle. Come to the vortex. I'm Lynn Hinderaker, and you're watching WOWBIZ TV, and I'm in York, Nebraska. Now, York, Nebraska is a community in central Nebraska. It's got 8,000 people here, but let me tell you, it's a very interesting community. Let's talk a little bit with Tara Vazicek. She's the city administrator in York, Nebraska, and we'll talk in a minute with Chuck Harris. Tara, thanks for joining me right here on WOWBIZ TV. Tell me about this interesting place where everything seems to be converging in this small community in central Nebraska. What's going on with York?
Lately, York has just grown. The activity in York is just at a peak right now, and we're doing a lot of things right now to kind of spark that and continue it, and really promoting York as a great place to live, work, and play because of all the fantastic things that are going on right now.
Yeah, I like that 3-point message there, live, work, and play. Because if you really want to grow, you have to attack all those things, right?
Right.
Yeah. Now, Chuck, you're the mayor of York, Nebraska, and you're involved in a lot of activities here. Where does the growth emanate from? What's the beginning or the strategic fulcrum point, if you will, for growing this community and attracting people to grow with it?
Well, then I think one of the most important things, as you touched on at the beginning, is our location.
Yeah.
We're right at the interchange of Interstate 80 east and west and U.S. Highway 81 north and south.
Yes. Now that just so people understand. Now, I mean, this is the primary interstate going across the United States of America.
Right.
And 81's right in the middle, right? So it's going north and south. And York, Nebraska is sitting, 2-3 miles away from that specific convergence. That's got to have huge implications if, you're in the transportation industry, or what does that really mean?
Well, there's a huge development going on right now out at our interchange, which is a part of the city of York, by the way.
Okay, all right.
And where we're only 8,000 people, there's 20-some thousand cars a day that come by our stop at this York interchange.
It's a big multiple of 8, right?
Can you imagine what that does? What business opportunities come from that?
It really does. It's just kind of fun to just think about the implications of that. Let's talk to Tara a little bit because, Chuck has said that, of course, it all kind of emanates as all these, not just the traffic, but ideas and people and facilities kind of come together very nearby out there. But, that's not really enough these days. It also takes quality of life, and, people have to live after 5 o'clock, after work is over. They have families. Tell me a little bit about that dimension of York's development, if you wouldn't mind.
You're absolutely right. And the city of York is really taking an active role right now, and hopefully even more so in the future, to provide more and more amenities to our citizens.
Why don't you give me a couple quick examples?
In the last year and a half, we've added a concrete skate park and a 3-acre dog park. We've improved our 2-mile trail. It's an 8-foot wide concrete trail down by the creek.
It sounds like a playful place and a fitness-oriented place is what I'm gathering here.
Yeah, trying to be active.
Yeah, it's kind of a holistic approach towards wellness and, like you said, vitality in the community.
Absolutely.
Chuck, you just did something interesting recently. You created an event center, and I know that it has functional value, but it also has symbolic value about the community. Tell me a little bit of the story about this new event center that's coming to be.
Well, the important part of the event center, obviously, it's going to be a wonderful facility, but the fact that it came about by people in the community recognized there was a need that we had in York for an event center. And these private individuals have raised the money to build this event center and give it to the city of York. It's going to bring all kinds of opportunities for us with all meetings, conventions, weddings, you name it. We're going to have a lot of room to take care of a lot of people in York.
That is so exciting. And again, let's return back to the core point, is that the community came together, private contributions, right?
Absolutely.
Built this thing?
Absolutely.
In a community this size, you don't see a facility like that everywhere. I mean, that's just kind of a little bit unusual.
And that's not an unusual thing to happen in York. There's other things that have been built in the city of York, are being built now through contributions of the citizens.
Tara, he speaks to something kind of interesting, and I sense this as I visit with the business community in particular here in York, that people kind of come together and I'm going to use co-create as an interesting word. They contribute to things. Tell me a little bit about that. How you get businesses to come in and residents, and you form committees and you get things done. Is that
Yeah, absolutely. The City of York and YCDC, our economic development organization, and the Chamber, we all work very closely together, and we really try and spark relationships between businesses here, whether they're new or whether they're existing and expanding. But we all work so well together.
Yeah, and Chuck, we were talking a little bit earlier about the whole nature of small town America, and you understand there's a lot of people on the internet watching these videos, and they live in urban centers. There's a certain tonality to that kind of existence, and to live in York would be so foreign. I don't think they really realize the whole neighborliness thing and with the kids and so on. Why don't you try to give people a little bit of a feel for that?
Well, we think it's just normal, but when we're in the
it's
city,
not normal. That's what I'm trying to say.
Every time you walk down the sidewalk here and you're saying hi to everybody, or you're shaking their hands, or you're waving at cars, and you may not even know who they are. You just wave at them. It's just kind of the friendly thing to do in a town like this.
And people from out of town or large urban centers are like, do you know that person? Not necessarily, right? Well, that's just part of the whole culture.
Yeah, it is.
And that's fascinating.
Western culture.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Well, Tara, let's pretend that I own a company. I'm not comfortable with what's going on. Maybe the city or the county isn't giving me sufficient support. How would we kind of wrap up this interview here? And what's our message? I know you said live, work, and play, and you have you're kind of on a roll here a little bit. What would you say to somebody like that was in that position that's looking for a new location?
We are absolutely on a roll. I like that you said that. There has been so many positive changes over the last year here in York, and I would say there isn't one industry that we couldn't support in York. We've got our infrastructure is phenomenal. The people are fantastic.
And the tax base is surprisingly low, as I recall, or
we have
the tax burden?
We have the lowest property tax of all first-class cities in Nebraska. But we're able to sustain all these amenities because of the sales tax that the interstate brings in. Again, those 20,000
I didn't really get it until just now. I understand what how the economics is supporting your community development and your impact on the state and so on. Thank you for sharing. That's the real deal is the sales tax and enabling you to keep the other taxes low. Yeah. Very competitive here in central Nebraska. Thank you so much, Tara and Chuck. An outstanding combination. You kind of have the everything right here in the center of the state, in the center of the country. Thanks for watching us here at York, Nebraska on WOWBIZ TV. I'm Lynn Hinderaker, and we will see you next time.